You don't remember the moment you decided you wanted to be something else. You remember the moment you realized you already were. It happens in a hangar, 3 in the morning, somewhere you cannot name. The air smells of jet fuel and hydraulic fluid and cold metal. You are sitting on a crate, your rifle across your knees, and the man beside you is bleeding through his uniform. He is not your friend. You have known him for 6 weeks. You will never know his first name. You will remember the sound he makes when the medic cuts the fabric away from his wound, a low, animal grunt that isn't pain, it's permission. He is allowing himself to be weak for exactly 3 seconds. Then he stops. You learn that from him. You learn to time your humanity. The first stage of your life is before you ever fire a weapon. It is the stage of wanting. You are 22, maybe 23, and you have seen enough of the world to know you do not belong in it. You are too restless for an office, too quiet for a bar. You want a purpose that does not require explaining. You want a tribe that doesn't ask where you came from, only what you can do. The recruitment officer looks at your file, then looks at you, and you see him decide something. He doesn't say it, but you see it. He is deciding if you are worth the investment of his time. You hold his gaze. You hold it until he blinks. That is your first test. You pass. The training is not what you expect. It is not heroic. It is not even violent at first. It is a slow, surgical stripping away of everything you thought you were. They take your sleep. They take your name. They take your instinct to flinch, to blink, to hesitate. They do not teach you how to fight. They teach you how to wait. You spend hours in a freezing water, your hands bound, your breath shallow, and you learn that panic is a choice. You learn that your body will scream for air, but your mind can tell it to wait. Just one more second, then one more. That is the foundation of everything. The ability to endure the thing you do not want to endure. The first time you kill a man, it is not dramatic. It is not slow motion. It is fast and it is quiet and it is over before you have time to feel anything. You are in a compound, a room with bad light, and the man is reaching for something you cannot see. You do not shout a warning. You do not give him a chance. You put a round through his chest because the rules of the game are clear. Hesitation is death. He falls. You step over him. You clear the next room. Later you sit in a truck and you replay it in your head. You expect guilt. You expect horror. You feel nothing. That is the first time you scare yourself. Not the killing, the absence of feeling about the killing. You become good. That is the second stage. You become reliable. You become the person they send when something must happen, and it must happen exactly the way it was planned. You stop being a member of the unit. You become the unit. Your identity dissolves into the group. You do not have preferences anymore. You have protocols. You do not have opinions. You have assessments. Your friends are not people you chose. They are people who survived the same crucible, and that bond is deeper than blood, deeper than love. You would die for them. You know this because you have almost done it. They would die for you. You know this because they have. There is a night in a city you cannot name, on a rooftop, with a sniper rifle that cost more than your first car. You are lying on gravel, your cheek against the stock, and you are watching a man through a scope. He is drinking tea. He is laughing at something. He has a family, probably. You do not think about that. You think about wind speed, elevation, the slight tremor in your finger that you must control. You breathe out. You squeeze. The man stops laughing. You pack your rifle. You leave. You do not think about him again for 7 years. Then one night you do. And it hits you like a fucking wall. Not guilt. Just the weight of a life that ended because you decided it should. You sit in the dark for an hour. Then you go to sleep. The human mind can only carry so much. The promotions come. You do not ask for them. They are given because you are useful. You become a team leader. Then a senior operator. You attend briefings in rooms with no windows, where men in suits show you satellite imagery and tell you what must be done. You learn to speak a different language. The language of plausible deniability, of strategic outcome, of collateral damage assessed and accepted. You learn that the people who make the decisions never have to look into the scope. They never have to feel the recoil. They never have to see the face after the shot. You do not resent them for this. You understand the division of labor. You are the tool. Tools do not judge the hand that wields them. That is what you tell yourself. There is a mission that goes wrong. There is always a mission that goes wrong. This one is in a valley at dawn and the intelligence is bad. The building is not empty. There are more men than expected. There are children. The firefight lasts 40 minutes. 2 of your team are hit. 1 does not get up. You carry him to the extraction point. You carry him while shooting, which is not something they teach you, it is something you invent in the moment. On the helicopter, he looks at you. He cannot speak. His eyes are asking you something. You do not know if you answered. Held his hand. You held it until he stopped looking. That is the moment that changes you, not the killing, the holding. After that, you start to feel the years, not age, weight. The accumulation of every decision, every shot, every bleed out, every debrief where you lied about what you saw. You lie because the truth is too complicated, too full of gray, too heavy for the people who need simple answers. You learn to compress a mission into 3 sentences. Target acquired. Hostiles neutralized. Package secure. You never mention the dog that barked before the breach, the woman who watched from the window, the teenager who was holding a phone, not a weapon. You leave those details out because they are not relevant to the outcome, but they are relevant to you. They become the furniture of your mind. You train new guys now. You look at them and you see yourself 20 years ago, hungry and clean and still believing in something. You try to tell them what matters. You tell them that the gear is irrelevant, the tactics are irrelevant. What matters is the space between the ears, the ability to stay calm when everything is burning, the ability to make a decision when no decision is good. They nod. They do not understand. They will understand later or they will die. You hope they understand later. You start to drink, not heavily, just enough. Just to take the edge off the images that replay without your permission. The face of the man you shot in the bad light. The boy who was holding a phone. The hand of your teammate in the helicopter. You drink to blur the edges. You drink to make the furniture of your mind less sharp. It works for a while. Then you stop. Not because it is a problem, because you realize you are becoming someone you do not recognize. You look in the mirror one morning and you see a man who has done terrible things for reasons that once seemed clear. The reasons are still there somewhere. The mission was just. The enemy was real. The deaths were necessary. But the clarity is gone. You have done it so many times that the reasons have worn thin, like a prayer repeated until it is just noise. The 3rd stage is the letting go. You retire. You do it quietly. You do not attend the ceremony. You do not want the handshake or the plaque or the speech about your service. You want to walk out the gate and not look back. You do. You get into your car, you drive. You stop at a gas station and you buy a coffee and you stand in the parking lot and you realize you do not know what to do with your hands. They have held a weapon for so long that they feel empty without it. You put them in your pockets. You drive home. Home is a place you have not lived in. It is a house you bought because it had good sight lines and a fence and no neighbors close enough to hear a gunshot. You thought that was practical. Now you realize it was a cage. You start to walk every morning. You walk through the neighborhood past the houses with the flags and the gardens and the children on bicycles. You are not part of this world. You are a ghost wearing civilian clothes. The people smile at you. They do not know that you have killed men with your hands. They do not know that you can clear a room in 3 seconds. They do not know that you have seen things that would make their nightmares look like cartoons. You smile back. You learn to fake it. There is a moment years later in a grocery store. You are buying milk. A man bumps into you and does not apologize. For a split second, your body reacts. Your hand goes to your hip where the gun used to be. Your eyes scan for exits. Your heart rate spikes. Then it passes. You are not in the valley. You are in a grocery store. The threat is a rude stranger. You take a breath. You buy the milk. You go home. That is the final lesson. The one they do not teach you. They teach you how to survive combat. They do not teach you how to survive peace. Peace is the harder fight, because in peace there is no clear enemy. There is no objective. There is just you alone with everything you have done trying to decide if it was worth it. You do not decide. You learn to live with the not deciding. You learn that some questions do not have answers. You learn that the weight does not go away, but you get stronger. Not the kind of strong they trained into you. A different kind. The kind that allows you to sit in a quiet room and not reach for a weapon. The kind that allows you to close your eyes and see the faces and not flinch. The kind that allows you to be ordinary. You are standing in your backyard. It is evening. The light is the color of bad coffee. You hear a helicopter in the distance. Your body tenses. You wait for it to pass. It does. You exhale. You are not the man you were. You are something else, something quieter, something that learned to stop holding on. And in that quiet, you realize the truth you spent a lifetime avoiding. You were never the weapon. You were the hand that held it. And that hand can choose. It can choose to let go. You open your palm. There is nothing in it.